Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah. A piss pot.
A piss pot.
What do you mean a piss pot?
Like, you know when people say, like, I don't have a pot to piss in.
Oh.
That's a piss pot.
That's what I'm drinking out of.
That's what a piss pot
All
is.
right.
Right there is what Kevin's drinking out of.
Well, welcome everybody to the Too High McFly podcast. This is where we talk about filmmaking and just movies in general. And I'm your host, Kevin Lyons, and with me is Daniel DeSangre.
Daniel de Sangre.
And we have another guest here, Michael Candelet. He's a actor friend of ours. So why don't you go ahead and say hi, Mike?
Hey, how you guys doing?
So, we're going to be talking about, well, since Mike is our guest, let's talk a little bit about acting in, like, independent filmmaking and stuff like that, and then we'll get into a whole bunch of trailers today. We got the Jurassic World, we got Ready Player One, and the Spider-Verse, and also the Twitter reactions for Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, opening next week.
Yes.
So, I guess there's just one thing left to do, Dan. Let's turn it on, baby.
Turn it on, baby.
All right, so anyway, we got Michael Candelet here. We actually went to college together, me and Mike, with Jose. They're both Too High McFly regulars. You guys are always helping out on set and going into our short films and stuff. So, Mike, why don't you go a little bit into what's it like working with small independent film companies?
I mean, I haven't really worked with a lot of larger ones, so I don't have anything to really compare it to.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least from rumors, listening to like a lot of the DCEU, Marvel Cinematic Universes, it's a lot of time constraints. There's a lot of, seems like it's limited creativity. Like the executives want one thing, they want to make sure that the directors are pushing the executive decisions.
You're jumping right into Marvel and DC.
Well, no, I mean, because again, I don't have that experience of working with those big budgets, but just like listening. Whereas a lot of independent stuff, it's you're creating it, you're shooting it, you have creative control, you do what you want to rather than what other people want you to do.
Okay, so you like working because you're always getting like the filmmaker's pure vision and
uninterrupted. Rather than you have the director going through there and then he has to get it signed off by an executive who's pushing the film out.
Yeah,
It's where independent is like, okay, we want to do this. This is how we want to do it. Okay, let's do it. Let's make it for us.
So have you been able to work on any like big productions, whether it's like background stuff, like extra stuff, or?
I've done background on a couple of movies and TV shows since I've been out here.
Like what?
When I first got out here, I did Raising Hope, Two Broke Girls when I was back in Massachusetts.
How broke were they?
They were pretty broke.
I think now, because isn't their show canceled?
Yes. So even more broke than they were before. Sequel, Broke Your Girls.
So, okay, but anyway, so those are some of the things that you worked on.
Yeah.
And when it comes to doing that and doing like more independent, fun filming with like your friends and buddies, and which one do you prefer to do more?
The fun friends.
The fun friends.
The fun friends.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fun with friends.
Right, yeah, because then it's, especially doing background or having bit parts in those big TV sitcoms or movies, like, you don't really get a lot of input. You go in there, this is what we want you to do, okay. Whereas you do something small with friends, well, how about we try to work it this way? Can I deliver it this way? How about if I move over here to deliver it? You get to actually
have a little bit more input.
Yeah, you get
without feeling like somebody's gonna put you back in your place.
Yeah, or you have the time to try it out, and if it works, it works, and it's great. If it doesn't, like with torture, like the whole thing with the punching and the accent, like that was just spitballing, and this would be hilarious. Let's try it, and it worked.
Yeah, that was
hilarious.
Torture is a short film that we did. It was actually the first thing that we did together as Too High McFly. Mike was an actor in that. And
First time I met Mike.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. That was a lot of fun getting that stuff started. But so now you're here. You're working with us a little bit, and you're still doing theater.
I'm gonna get back into it. I did a short kind of one act last weekend.
kind of one act? Was there like,
I mean,
did
it's
the
only
show
10 minutes.
continue and everybody was just free to go, or what was going on?
Well,
It's a
so
half-act.
the name of the show, it's put on by the Sacred Fools Theater Company in Hollywood, and it's called Serial Killers. The way that it works is there's 5 10-minute shows or little episodes, and if your episode is good enough, you get to continue writing it and performing it. The top 3 get to perform. Which is why I don't say it's really like a traditional one act, because it's not the full story.
Okay.
It's just like a little,
Snippet.
it's an episodic.
Episodic. All
It's
right.
like a tournament version of actors. See who's going to survive and make it to the next one.
Yeah.
I like it. It's like a death match.
There you go. Death match.
So I did
Death
that.
match acting with Mike.
So I did that last weekend, and it got renewed for another episode.
Okay.
See that? You helped renew it.
Yeah,
Good job.
they went up again last night. I haven't checked to see how they did because I wasn't in that one.
Yeah, that means Mike doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Well,
if he's not in it,
Yeah.
he doesn't give a
Well,
damn.
It was the end of the season, so if it did good enough to get picked up when they start again in January, then I'm gonna be going back to it. So I'll have to
And that's
get
when they
a
get their
hold of the
big star
director.
back.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
to go through that.
Well, you know what? I completely skipped over this. We didn't even welcome Dan back. You
Oh,
weren't you
yeah.
weren't here on the last podcast.
I was not here in the.
You had a little baby boy, Kingston.
Kingston.
How's that little guy?
He's doing good, man. He's big. He was born at almost 10 pounds. He's a big boy.
I was thinking, you and Crystal should open up your own business where you just name other people's babies for them. You have the best names for your kids. you
Thanks,
got Raven and Kingston. That's
Yep.
just like straight up killing
Ranking.
it. That's awesome, man.
Thanks, man.
That's awesome. Welcome back. Obviously, Anton is not here. He's we're actually he's here at the studio. He's working on another project he has due today.
He's doing some editing.
And so we invited Mike to come over here and talk with us. And so it's just great to sit here with your friends on a nice little Sunday and talk about movie trailers. I think we can just go ahead and start talking about all the trailers that are coming out. We're getting into the holiday season. We're getting closer to Star Wars, so everybody's releasing a bunch of trailers right now to get people excited. So the first trailer that we can talk about, Jurassic World 2. I was really kind of excited to get a trailer for this because all you have to wonder is, like, what the fuck else are they going to do after Jurassic World? It's just, really, there's not much else you can do. And then the trailer dropped. Actually, we were filming a comedy show for Melissa and Augustino, and that's when the trailer released. And so we didn't really get to watch it until afterwards. So, Dan, what did you think about the trailer?
I was kind of nervous leading up to it because exactly what you said. I thought it was going to be like, what else can you do with this story? But you know, and then when you saw like some of the teaser pictures, it just kind of made me nervous because like I didn't see anything original. Okay. And when I see the trailer, I don't know, man. It just seems like it's PETA for like dinosaurs. Like they go to the island to save them, but it just seems unnecessary. You're unnecessarily putting yourself in danger just to protect dinosaurs.
Especially seeing how they were already extinct.
Yeah.
And now it's just nature trying to do its selection because apparently there's been a volcano on the whole Jurassic Park island the entire time.
And nobody ever saw it.
But I also heard that all the footage from the trailer is only from the first hour of the movie. So apparently
I heard first act. Only the first act.
They said, well, I heard the first hour.
Oh, was the first hour?
I heard it was like the first hour of the movie is basically all the footage in the trailer. So let's give it over to Mike.
But it's
Mike.
only going to be an hour and 30-minute run.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the whole first 2 acts right there.
Did you see the trailer, Mike?
Yeah, I just watched it again before we started.
Okay.
I mean, I'm excited for it because it's dinosaurs.
Of course.
It's-
I mean,
even the Lost World, I was excited for, and then I walked out of it questioning my choice.
Yes.
But rewatching it, there's a lot of questionable choices that I saw in there.
In the Jurassic
trailer.
World 2 trailer.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like just little segments.
Like what?
Well, one like you were saying, we're gonna risk our lives and the lives of a team of guys to go in just to save Blue. Blue was the only one that they mentioned.
That's true.
Really?
They didn't. It didn't seem like they cared about any of the other dinosaurs, except for when Jeff Goldblum was talking to Congress or whoever.
You have to admit, that was pretty cool to see Jeff Goldblum come
Oh,
back.
no, it was great.
It makes me nervous because they kept teasing that his character was going to come back in this, and it looks like, is he only in that one scene of the movie?
I think it's only a cameo he's
That
doing. But I also
sucks,
heard
man.
that Sam Neill might be cameoing in this
I
too.
heard that too.
I heard that he was spotted on set of Jurassic World 2.
Yeah.
But
Maybe you're just
I
there.
mean, like, what looks kind of cool though, I will give this movie, is the fact that they're taking some stuff from actual dinosaur lore of like the volcanoes, and it's just cool to see that imagery of a volcano exploding and all the dinosaurs running away with people. I'm like, that looked kind of cool, but I mean, that's just a cool shot. It has nothing to do with the story. Like, that doesn't mean the story is going to be good, because I think our biggest problems with the other movie was that the only good thing about the movie, really, the first Jurassic World, was just the dinosaurs. I mean, like, the people aspect of Jurassic World was awful. There was
It wasn't good.
there was nothing good. Like, the coolest thing about it was like maybe Chris Pratt training with raptors.
Yeah.
But even then, you could feel like Chris Pratt was holding back. Like, you could tell like he was trying to fit into like
It did.
a seriouser role.
None of the characters were fleshed out at all.
No.
And they forced like the whole brother aspect with their parents. It
That's
just seemed
so
forced.
dumb.
It just seems forced.
Like,
it had nothing to do with the story.
Like, they made the dude, the kid look like an asshole.
Yeah,
Like,
they
you
did.
remember how he was just like, it's almost like he didn't even want that girl at the beginning before he
the
goes on
older
the
brother?
vacation. Yeah, the older brother. He
Yeah.
was kind of like, they kind of made him like he's a player. Like, the girl says, "I love you," and he's like, "Okay, I'll see you." And so he's kind of coming off as a douche the whole time. And it's just like, why make him? Why not have it be like he's in love with a girl and she breaks up with him right before he goes to Jurassic Park, and he's a little bit down in the dumps instead of just coming off as this fucking douchebag.
It was very Diary of the Wimpy Kid.
Yeah, that's I didn't like it. I don't understand why. Like, I don't care about that your parents got divorced. It's fucking 2017. Everybody
Yeah.
gets divorced.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like not that sad, bro. Come on,
No.
chill out. You're on an island with dinosaurs. Cheer the fuck up.
And that's a Tuesday in LA.
It's a Tuesday in LA. But there were some cool things about the Jurassic World movie, and that was, I felt like, was just all the dinosaurs and the fact that it was a park that's open. It's like, it's actually had people in there. It was like Disneyland, you know what I mean? And then the
Yeah.
dinosaurs
See,
escaped.
that was original.
That was
That was
cool. That was
interesting.
cool. But now that the park is broken down, it's just the first movie again.
Yeah, but done
What the
worse
hell?
because there's no animatronics. You know what I mean?
No,
It's
I
just-
heard there's a lot more animatronic. I saw a featurette. They're doing a lot more animatronic dinosaurs in this.
we just didn't see any at all in the trailer, which makes me nervous again. Because again, Jeff Goldblum was supposed to be in this movie.
Yes.
A cameo doesn't really count as being in the movie.
I
It's just a
thought the
cameo.
only way that this movie would do really well is, sorry, we just touched our feet a little bit under there. I think that's it.
Footsies.
Just dinosaur footsies. That's just gonna make.
And
the
yet
movie
that's
better.
more compelling than Jurassic World 2.
Yeah. Well, I felt like what gave Jurassic World all that magic was the fact that it was going back to the original island. And it was the first Jurassic Park movie that was supposed to be a direct sequel to the first movie. And it just brings back all that nostalgia. But now that that's over, we're in Lost World territory, which is just not as interesting. And I felt like the only way that their biggest pull for this movie was to get the original cast back and have them be a part of the major part of the story, because, you know, hey, that's what worked in the first one. Bring it back
Force
to the
Awakens
sequel.
it.
Because
Force Awakens
the
it.
nostalgia aspect is already gone. I mean, it's just in Jurassic World. It's not going to transfer over to the sequel unless you bring back some of the original actors. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Mike's been quiet.
Yeah, no, it's
Just jump right in, man. If you have.
yeah. I don't know what the pull, the attract aside from the dinosaurs, like what's gonna bring people to go see it.
Yeah.
And it even looks like the personality of the dinosaurs changed. Like the T-Rex is shown right off the bat. Like he's the hero. He's
Yeah,
helping
he's the
everyone
hero.
out. Like
Yeah.
he carries. But at
You
the
mean
same,
she's
Yeah.
the hero.
she. But it's still like they're primal animals. Like they're instinct based.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden
They're porgs.
there's a yeah.
They're cuddly now.
Yeah, now all of a sudden there's a volcano going around them, and they're trying to survive. And let's help these humans out that we helped in the last movie.
Yeah.
And it's been what, like, we'll say 3-4 years have passed since
Yeah.
the last one, because there's no way those vines grew over everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of overgrowth in this movie.
Yeah, it's just like yeah.
I just don't get why they needed to make another one. It's the only thing.
Money.
Like, but like,
That's the
what?
business
Okay,
of it.
say they do rescue all the dinosaurs. Where the fuck are they gonna go? People are just gonna start having dinosaur pets? Like, we're already overstuffed.
Everybody
on
gets
this
blues.
planet. I mean, just let the dinosaurs die. Just let them die. Maybe
Yeah.
keep T-Rex, but that's about it. Keep Rexy. Although I don't get what they're gonna like. There was that shot of Chris Pratt in the big truck with the T-Rex, and it's like he's just like hugging its head, and his eye opens up, and it's just kind of like.
I love the Rex, and it made sense in Jurassic World, but
Yeah.
I don't need to see it again in this one. I mean, you're just like desensitizing the villainous from the first movie. So now when I go back, it's like, oh well, he's not scary anymore. He's gonna be his pet. In
Yeah.
like a decade, you'll
Because
be a
there was also that other big wide shot right after the T-Rex takes down whatever dinosaurs in Jurassic World 2.
Yeah.
And Chris Pratt is just standing there looking up at it, roaring.
Oh,
I'm like,
the one with the horns.
yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. But you see Rexy and you see fucking Chris Pratt standing there right in front of the T-Rex when it's out right after it killed something. And Chris Pratt standing there. I'm like, that motherfucker better not move or else the T-Rex is going to see him. I'm like, but what are they trying to say? That the T-Rex is like good now? Like they're just going to, he's just a good guy? Like,
Well, I mean, if you
He's
look at
Wolverine.
even going back into the original, like the T-Rex was never evil. It wasn't a bad guy. It was a force of nature.
yeah.
And like even at the end of the first one, the T-Rex ends up coming in and saving Grant.
It did make a
everyone.
hero move. It killed.
yeah.
No,
it ate the lawyer.
It suggested that it was the hero because it saved our heroes. But if there were no raptors in there, the T-Rex would have eaten the people.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like-
And it's an animal, and it's going off of survival-based instincts.
yeah.
And now it looks like they're trying to make him good, and he's trying to make choices to save him. It's just like that's almost they grew the ability to choose whether they follow survival instincts or not. Like, no, they're an animal. It's a predator. It wants to eat when it wants to eat, and it eats whatever's there.
I say they should just go where I think the Independence Day franchise is going to go, where it's just going to do a completely pivot and just be out there and weird and wacky.
Yeah, but the sequel was
Like,
so bad.
they should
dude.
just make
It was
Jurassic
bad.
World like with fucking, I don't know, man. Just do a different genre and just make it fun.
With the Hemsworth brother.
Make the dinosaurs now have to integrate into our society. There's like a fucking T-Rex pushing shopping carts in a
Make
shop.
them pay taxes. Fucking assholes.
We need a live action version of the animated movie We're Back.
I know. Like, do you think there'd be a dinosaur DMV? And they have to wait in line to get their new tags. It's like, man, imagine that
Fucker, like,
Wednesday.
it's just crazy. I mean, I just don't get why they needed to do one. I felt like that story was complete. Hey, we have a full park of dinosaurs. They broke out. End of story because nobody can go back there. Fuck the dinosaurs. They're just. I just don't get it.
It'd be
I don't get
awesome
it.
to do a Jurassic Park movie, but I couldn't even think of an original idea that would be like, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, like why?
Can't
What
think of
you
it.
can't. I mean, the magic's already there. You already did the magic, and now they're just gonna be grasping at straws, trying to make something work in the franchise because it was a huge name.
Yeah.
But like, man. Oh, also you can also totally tell that they're trying to make up with what's her name? Bryce Dallas Howard's character.
Oh, yeah.
Every shot
She
she
had
looks
regular
like
shoes.
she had regular shoes. She looked like she's ready for jungle,
Yeah.
and it's just like, all right, they're trying to make up hardcore for how she was in the last movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Do you think that they're gonna do you think that they're gonna go for like more the human aspect for this Jurassic World too? Like focus on the characters because they were so bad in the first one.
They were so bad, and that's what's weird is that we haven't seen. I mean, it's the first trailer. The first trailer doesn't really ever show you much. It only shows you parts of like the first act, typically. The second trailer is what tends to give you more of what's in the second act, so you start to get a better idea of what the movie's about.
Gotcha.
So we haven't seen that yet with this movie. So far, I would say yes. I would guess because I think they're going to do some fan service and realize that was wrong with the first one. But I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of a guess at this point.
Does this get a opening night worthy for you?
Yeah, but if I don't, I mean, I could miss it too if I have like, to go do grocery shopping or something. It's more important.
I need an excuse not to go see this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I mean, because the only thing that you really need to see in these movies are the dinosaurs. I mean, like, it depends on if you're in a dinosaur mood that day, which you should
Yeah.
be. I don't really care about the actors in this, although I like them. I just don't care.
Yeah, like I like Chris Pratt, but other than Parks and Rec and in
Guardians.
Star-Lord, I haven't seen him do amazing in anything else.
Yeah.
He's just been
He was
okay.
pretty good in Magnificent Seven. I like that, but it's
Yeah,
just
but-
like he's just good. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
like,
he's not a bad actor, but like he was so great in those other two roles.
Yeah.
I want to know, can you keep doing that?
I will. I don't know. After that last Guardians movie, I'm kind of almost.
It makes me nervous.
I'm nervous. I'm caring less about that franchise.
Me too, man. The second one was that bad where it
I
made
just
me
didn't like the second one.
It completely deflated it. It felt like what the prequels were to Star Wars, where I watched it, I'm like, man, I'm really disappointed right now. Like, you're making me shake my confidence of this franchise.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, what the hell?
And it wasn't a terrible movie. It just wasn't a very good movie.
It just felt like they did a different direction than what we wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It felt really closed off too. It didn't feel like there was really a bad guy other than Kurt Russell's dad. Right? Like it's just Kurt Russell is the dad, just being a dick.
Yeah,
like
but we don't see him being a dick until like the last 20 minutes of the film.
yeah,
exactly.
And what the
there's not that threat of that they're fighting for. They're
Hmm.
not guarding the universe from
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Well, technically they are, but it's just like it just felt so localized. It felt like, I promise that we weren't going to talk about Justice League, but it's the bad thing is just like when the scale of the movie doesn't represent the scale of the world, you don't care.
Yeah.
Like I felt like the universe, it was just the main actors in green screen again. Like that's
You know what?
it felt
That's how
like.
Jurassic World 2 looks.
Yeah.
They're kind of they're localizing again the threat, and it's like, so the threat is just this volcano. Like, it's easier to avoid a volcano lava than it is a freaking T-Rex that's trying to bite you. It's trying to eat you in one gulp. I mean, that's a big difference, and you're not making the dinosaurs look as threatening anymore. You show one, and it gets killed by Rexy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. This is just, it's not as great as I thought it was going to be.
No.
The trailer especially. I thought they were going to introduce a new type of idea. At least if they're going to save the dinosaurs, explain why. Is there like I always thought it was because these dinosaurs, instead of saving them from a volcano, it would be like there's a company. Oh, well, that's the exact Lost World fucking thing. It's like they're going to try and take the dinosaurs and use them for bad. So we got to go free the dinosaurs. Like,
you know what they could have done is in Jurassic World, they had the T-Rex Velociraptor mix, right?
yeah.
And
Indominus.
then the Indominus Rex. And then they also had the park being open that broke down. They should have separated those two. It should have just been the Jurassic World movie as the park, and it kind of breaks down similar to Jurassic Park, but you have people and do an original spin. And the Indominus Rex could have been the villain in this one because they show it being able to kind of blend in to escape, and we never saw it blend in anymore. Imagining a big-ass fucking... like chameleon type dinosaur that could have been a way bigger threat, and they just.
But it would have left the end of that movie just so open and not give it any closure. Like,
Well, they they could have come up with something that was a little less, maybe not use the genetically engineered dinosaur in that one. Now with this one, it's like, well, what are you going to add on top of that?
yeah, it's just more
just went-
genetically engineered dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It should go into. They should definitely focus more on the human aspect of it, especially if you look at the two bigger threats aside from the dinosaur in the first one. It was what's the actor's name? Is B.D. Wong from the
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
him. He escaped and he had all the genetic material, so he could still recreate the dinosaurs. And then there's Vincent D'Onofrio's character, who all he wanted to do was use the raptors for military purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you bring in that organization that Vincent D'Onofrio worked for, and they want to capture the raptors to use them for those military purposes because they saw that Chris Pratt can control them, so you can train them. And now they need to go back to the island to stop him.
You know what would be a cool take if they kind of went like Planet of the Apes with it a little bit, where it's kind of like
brains.
something happened where like there's some type of Armageddon type event, and now we're like sharing the planet with dinosaurs.
Yeah, they have to eventually get
like
there.
if there was like a
Land of the Lost.
like a post-apocalyptic version where the remaining human race is now having to survive with dinosaurs, and you can see them how they can use some of the tame ones to help them build a civilization.
They already did that. It's called the Flintstones.
Yeah, that's right. So let's just make the Flintstones.
I did start to play this Jurassic Park game that was, I guess, for PS3. I think PS3 is but it was really cool story. Basically, the story is like a story B that takes place during the original Jurassic Park. So do you remember when Ned is talking to that guy that's on the boat and it's like super rainy?
Okay,
remember that?
Yeah.
We start off there actually, and the guy that's there on the phone had hired like this female sort of like guide, like this hunter with a badass like machete hanging
is
out
a
of her
video
backpack.
game?
It's a video game, and
For what?
There's different episodes. Do you remember that Back to the Future one? I think it's like Telltale Productions
Yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
something like that. They did Jurassic Park one. So you're the girl that's trying to lead that guy on the boat because Ned went MIA, but they know he had the canister, so they're trying to
get that canister.
to get the canister.
That's cool.
So they break in, and the story was really cool so far. And I'm like, okay, that's original. Why can't you go do that? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like
I also I have another. Actually, I would like to make this an animated short film. It's another side story of Jurassic Park, and my theory is that Samuel L. Jackson did not die in Jurassic Park.
that would be
Because you remember how Laura
on to his
Dern
books.
is running down to go turn on the all the fences,
arm.
and then like she's in that room, and then you see like the arm come down, and she thinks it's him, but she turns just a severed arm, and then you see the raptor, and so you assume like, oh, that raptor
Ate him.
killed Samuel L. Jackson, but then no, because that raptor was hiding. I bet you I would like to do a version where I would like to see that fight between Samuel and the raptor, and the raptor didn't bite his arm off.
You think he ripped
he
it
got
off and beat
so
it with
mad that he ripped off his own arm and he fucking beat the fucking raptor into a hiding spot, and then he went to go find, and then like at the end of the movie when everybody gets on the helicopter and like John Hammond looks over the park one last time, and then he gets on the helicopter and he flies away. You see Samuel running down. He's like, wait up, motherfucker. Leave me on this island. Like, that would have been so great.
He'd be such a badass. I could see him with like another lit cigarette dangling from him, and he's riding a fucking pterodactyl like a surfboard. He's just riding out. I was like, that's a badass motherfucker.
There was a funny fan theory about Jurassic Park. It was Nedrick?
Ned.
He apparently every outfit that he wears in Jurassic Park is a callback to a different Goonies character.
Oh, was it?
Somebody said that, but
remember
the only person that they couldn't associate to it was Data, but I figured out the Data one. But because, I mean, they're both Steven Spielberg, right?
Yeah.
And so when he's remember when he's in Costa Rica and the guy goes to give him the shaving cream
Yeah.
can, and he's wearing...
See? Nobody cares.
Yeah. He's wearing like a
That's it.
chunk
Yep,
floral shirt.
I see that one, yeah.
And then there's one when he's kind of dressed up like Mouth with that jacket.
So he wears a members only jacket?
He kind of has that, and when he goes to go steal the canisters.
Oh, when he zips up
And
the
then
thing.
when he's leaving, he's wearing a yellow raincoat like Mikey in the Goonies. And then, but like the only one we can't connect is Data. And then I realized, I'm like, oh shit, you know when he's on that, when his Jeep is like crammed up there and he's with the Dilophosaurus. Do you remember Dana's slick shoes?
Yeah.
Remember when he's walking over that little waterfall and he's spitting black tar out of the bottom of his shoes to slip up the gut?
Yeah.
And that's the Dilophosaurus, because then he falls down the
yeah.
waterfall too after he gets a face full of the slick shoes, and he falls down the
the
waterfall
poison.
just like the Fratellis
Yeah.
in the Goonies. I'm like, oh shit. But I mean, it's all like perspective.
Yeah.
You know, I doubt that's what they were doing, what Steven Spielberg was doing. It just happened to
No.
line up that way. But it was just one of those cool things I read there. I'm like, yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, but I mean, like the yellow jacket. I mean, he would need a raincoat. And
Yeah,
they were yellow
raincoat.
back at the time, so it's like maybe that's a little bit of a reach.
But
that
like
theory,
all
it's
those
cool.
different characters'
Yeah.
representations were in that, and I thought that was kind of cool. Maybe, I don't know.
See, I didn't know he wore a members only jacket. I have to look.
That'd be a nice thing to tweet out to Spielberg.
Yeah, it is. See if
Right?
he actually responds. No. Oh, which leads us into Ready Player One, new trailer.
Ready Player One? Yeah, I think
What do you
we're
guys
done
think?
with Jurassic World, so let's go into Ready Player One. I have to admit, I had never read the book. You read the
did.
book, right,
I
Dan?
did. I loved it. Yeah.
Now, why don't you give us a rundown on the book?
Like give you the story.
Just
Okay,
like a
I don't want
quick-
to ruin it.
Yeah, a
okay.
little bit.
So the book was really good. It came out, I think, 2011. I want to say.
Okay.
And it's just set. It's all like packed with like 80s nostalgia, and that's why reading the book, there was a lot of things where he makes references to like movies, songs, TV shows, just things that were like fashionable at the time. So as an 80s kid, like you totally
Yeah.
dig it. But it was really good. So the movie, I'm guessing Steven Spielberg's gonna add a lot more different 80s throwbacks to it
Yeah,
because you could
because in
visually
the
see a lot of
trailer
things.
you see the DeLorean in it. Was that in the book?
I think it was. I don't remember, but I think it was. Yeah.
Okay, because it looks awesome.
Yeah,
Like
it
when I
does.
see that DeLorean in that trailer, dude,
Oh,
I
man, it
get
gave me
tears, man.
goosebumps,
I get
yeah.
goosebumps and tears. I get goosey tears.
You guys
I get some goosey tears going.
some goosey
But the
tears.
first trailer alone was really good, and then the second one just came out yesterday. Is that right?
And it just came out yesterday, and that one actually starts to show more of the Act 2, so you start to get a better idea of what
Yeah.
that movie's about.
So how do you feel about this, Dan?
I'm excited, man.
Dude,
like,
yeah.
like already, I love the book, and when they
Yeah.
announced that they were gonna make it, I was like, yes. And then with Steven Spielberg, are you fucking kidding me? Like, finally, we get Spielberg doing a movie like this again. Like, I'm
Yes.
so excited.
Yeah, the trailer looks really good. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, watching the first trailer, my thoughts were, all right, this looks pretty cool. Like, I don't know what it's really about, like, but it looks visually entertaining and one of those like you're gonna have a good time. Now the second trailer popped up, you get more of the story. Like you see what the stakes are.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. So it's not just an escapism film. Like they're actually trying to achieve something. You know what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
You see the villains in there rather than just all the quick cuts and the racing and the explosions. I mean, I'm more excited for it now with the second trailer.
Were there any like Easter eggs in there that you saw were just like you were sold like that's really cool? Because there's a lot of Easter eggs in this.
There's a lot. I liked the two characters that I saw in the film or in the trailer that I was really excited about was the Iron Giant,
Yeah.
which was great,
Yeah.
and then during one of the battles, Freddy
Freddy
flying
Krueger,
out.
that's right. Although I think I have to rewatch it again. I think when they showed Freddy Krueger, I think he had knives on all the fingers or on both hands? I forget. Like there was something off about it. But it's also somebody's like rendition of it because
Yeah.
it's not the actual character.
No, yeah,
It's like
just
in
her
somebody's
avatar.
in the game. But
They
it looked
also,
cool.
did you guys notice Chucky too? He was going straight Yoda on everybody.
Oh no,
Mixing
I didn't,
away
see,
with
I
people.
didn't
noticed
see
Chucky
Chucky.
today.
Yeah.
Was
Just
that
watched it
is that in the
again.
new trailer?
It's in the new
Yeah.
one.
I gotta
Yeah, it
rewatch
wasn't in
it.
the other one.
I gotta
Chucky's
rewatch
there,
it.
and he's going straight Yoda style, just beating the
man.
ass out of people, man.
That's so cool, dude. I would say for me, it was definitely the Back to the Future stuff. I mean, because I'm such a huge
And the
Back
song
to
at
the
the
Future fan.
end.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started. All right, well,
Yeah.
dude, please
Okay.
get me started. Get me started.
Turn it on, Kev.
Because it's so cool because like we're never you can never say never, but it's very, very highly unlikely that we're ever going to get another Back to the Future movie or reboot. But just to see a new movie that has the aspects of that movie in this is just like I almost felt like it was Steven Spielberg kind of greasing the wheels to get people ready for a new Back to the
That
Future
would be so
movie.
awesome if they did.
You know what? If you gave me if it was up to me, I would say no. But I'm not. If they are gonna make another one, I'm. Hey man, go right ahead. I'll go see it. But I'm fine with the originals.
yeah, but it's
But
the same thing like
I'd
Star
be interested.
Wars.
I'm
you know
like,
what I
who's
mean?
involved? What's going on here? But just seeing that DeLorean in action, you just see him riding around in the races and just seeing it speeding down, dude. It was getting goosebumps. I thought that his avatar was gonna be like Michael J. Fox, because they never really showed it in the first trailer.
Yeah.
Persuvial, what's his name?
Fuck. I'm not-
Persuvial or Peruvial? It's something like that. His avatar's name is something like that.
Looking it up.
And I thought it was gonna be designed after Michael J. Fox and Back to the Future, but it wasn't because we saw it.
Yeah.
And
It was more anime.
I think there's gonna be something really Back to the Future-y in this, other than just him driving around in the time machine, because the way the trailer ended with the little Back to the Future, like at the end, like oh man, I just like that. It was let me think that they're probably gonna recreate a scene or something in that. But we'll see. I mean, it's almost like a Willy Wonka style movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this guy who invented the Oasis, this virtual reality world in this overpopulated world, and that's people's only escapism because they're also crammed in this world. And he's kind of like, is he dying in it? And he's leaving the fortune.
That's what it
Well,
is,
in the trailer that was released yesterday, the video says, "If you're watching this, then I'm dead."
Oh, okay.
And then he talks about how there's an Easter egg in the game that the first person who finds it will get like $500 trillion, something like that.
Or half of a trillion, yeah, something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah,
and
yeah.
control of the Oasis.
Yeah. And then it makes it seem like there's these bad guys who actually want to do it just to destroy the Oasis or fucking make money.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They want to control it. Yeah, it's
for
the
financial
corporation.
gains.
It's
Yeah.
almost like the whole net neutrality thing that's going
That's what
on
I'm saying.
right
It's
now.
literally
It's-
what's going on right now.
Man,
Like they're
that's
gonna charge
fucking
you for free
crazy.
internet. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Dude, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that. This movie's going to make a shit ton of money.
You also notice how they're trying to do it like right around the Christmas too right now? Just
Yeah.
so that way everybody's distracted and they're trying to fucking charge us for using free internet.
Yeah, what the like? What's
Screw
going?
off.
First of all, we'll take a quick break from
Yeah.
Ready Player One to talk about this. What is going on with the whole net neutrality thing? Is it being voted on right now? Is that what's happening?
It's being voted on in 2 days.
in 2
Oh, wait.
days.
Yeah, I think it's the 12th. I think they're voting on it the 12th.
So if it passes, that means that all internet providers can pick and choose what websites we can see. You're like your internet provider can basically say, you know what? I don't want you on this website, so we're not going to make that happen on our internet. So you may not be able to go to certain websites.
Well, so
And
say
you're going to
It's like
charge
cable network.
Yeah, you're going to get charged for everything. Like if you want Netflix, you're going to have to upgrade your internet to include Netflix. You have to upgrade your internet to choose all this other stuff, and that seems fucked up.
Dude.
Like
That is fucked up.
everything is like you pay one price for your internet, but the way that the net neutrality thing is going to work is everything's going to get split up, and you have to buy all these packages to get basically what you
That's
already
such
get.
Yeah, like
bullshit.
I mean, if you look at current cell phone plans now, you pay one price. You have unlimited text messaging, you have unlimited voice talking, and some plans have just unlimited data.
Yeah.
But without net neutrality, you go back like 5-6 years, you're paying $39.99 for the minimum voice plan. Then you're paying $20 for text messaging. Then you're paying another $30 for data, and it's separating everyone. And that's what the repeal of net neutrality is going to do.
But it's also not just that. It's
No,
that they can also they can filter out what sites you can go to.
right.
Like,
but
that's
just to
fucked
say,
up.
like if you want these extra features, you need to pay this. You need to have this add-on.
Yeah, they're charging us for
Yeah.
something that
If
that's been free.
You have
It's
Comcast.
fucked
Yeah,
up.
you have Comcast Internet. Well, Comcast has their own video service. If you want Netflix, then you need to pay an additional $20 to us in order to have access to Netflix without
that's
it being.
that's fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
Because we already
dude.
paid for Netflix, man. You're gonna make me pay more money just to watch Netflix?
Because you know what they're gonna do instead?
Hmm.
They're gonna make a new internet. Everything is free. We're gonna call it the Oasis. That's what
Exactly.
we're gonna do.
That's what Ready
Like,
Player
we're gonna
One
start
is,
our own
man.
internet, man.
Yes, but I'm so stoked to watch Steven Spielberg back in this realm. Again.
I
really
am too. I am too. I really hope that he's gonna go like what he's always done with like actually making it a character movie and
Yeah.
not like
Don't
the
go-
visuals because there's a lot of visual spectacle in this
There
and
is,
sometimes
man.
that can get right in the way of telling a good story. And I mean you can't really question Steven Spielberg's ability to tell a story, but
Yeah,
the
if
quality
anybody
of
knows
this-
characters, it's him.
yeah,
He's the
so
best at
what
it.
I hope it's going to be a really good mixture. I hope it's a really fantastic story. What I'm afraid of is them trying to, I mean, because things aren't single off movies anymore. They're all a franchise.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks about
Next
this.
one's Ready Player 2.
I know, like, is it gonna be?
gonna be
Is it gonna be
outrage.
something like that? You know what I mean? Because that's what I feel like. What's hurting a lot of these movies is they're spent so much time in this where it could just be one movie, its own standalone movie, but because they want to make everything a franchise, they spend so much time in that one movie building up a whole world. So you don't even get a really good story because they're trying to introduce all this other stuff. So that's what I'm kind of hoping that maybe this is just a one-off and they're not going to do any type of like franchise expanding.
Yeah, and you always know that when you watch, like, let's say a Deadpool or a Guardians, right?
Yeah.
When the first one came out, yeah, they expected franchise, right? But they didn't know if they would get a sequel.
Yeah.
They didn't know if people would watch it. So they kind of go all in on this first one and they make it its own standalone story, and that's why it does well.
Those two ended really well. I mean, more so on Deadpool because it felt like they could never make another Deadpool movie again, and that story is complete.
Yeah.
It was the whole thing of trying to get his girlfriend back and whether or
a
not
love
she would
story.
accept him with his burnt fucking
Yeah.
face. But then she accepts him at the end, and like that can be its own movie. Of course, we want more Deadpool,
Yeah.
and we're getting more Deadpool.
Love it.
But like that could be its own movie. There's no unanswered questions. There's like nothing. And they did that with Guardians of the Galaxy. But the thing is, with Guardians of the Galaxy, at the end, they set it up like, what's next? I don't know. Let's get like. There's more adventures,
Yeah.
but they still finished up the one adventure that they had. I just hope that they don't fuck up this Ready Player One because it looks so good.
I know, dude. And always the best example I use for that is Pirates. When Pirates 1 came out, it was so good. And part 2 was like, man, you're telling me it's part 1 of like a 2-part? Like, I don't need to see this.
Well, I like the second one, the Dead Man's Chest one. That's okay.
The third one was not good.
No, it was just, that's when all these movies started getting so long, and it's just, there's 7 different fucking endings. Like, what the fuck?
It was like the Lord of the Rings, man. You said bye already, motherfucker.
I know.
Go
just
already.
Get this shit done.
An hour and a half of goodbyes.
But I also think that there's a lot of other cameos and Easter eggs that they're withholding. I mean, because these are just the first 2 trailers. They you know that there's something big that they're saving. They're saving something, and I don't know, man. I'm ready to geek out about this. I have a feeling this is gonna do great for a lot of age groups. There's gonna be a lot of new kids, and then like all the people who grew up in the 80s and 90s are gonna go to see it too. So I have a feeling this is gonna make a lot of money.
I really hope it does, because Blade Runner 2049 was one of those ones where it's like, I love that movie and I wish more people saw it. I hate that it's a bomb.
I haven't seen it.
It was a great movie, man. Like, I hate that people didn't watch it. And with Ready Player One, I hope it doesn't do that. It's a Spielberg movie, but at the same time, BFG didn't do that great in the theaters.
I haven't seen that either.
I haven't seen it either. I have no interest. I don't like the way. Okay, what's your biggest reason, real quick, on BFG? Why don't you want to watch BFG?
I don't know. It wasn't that I thought it looked bad. It's just I just feel like at that moment in time when the movie came out, it didn't necessarily appeal to what I wanted to go spend money on at the movie. I mean, like, I'll watch it right now.
Yeah,
I have no problem against it. It's just like I just didn't feel like I needed to see this movie. But it could be a good movie.
I didn't see BFG.
Yeah, but what's the biggest reason why you didn't want to watch it?
I mean, kind of the same thing Kevin said. It came out, and I was like, oh, that looks kind of interesting. And then it was just one of those. I just never ended up going to see it.
To me, it was just the design of the giant. He just looks dumb. I just didn't really like the way that it looked. I'm sure the movie's great. I just didn't like I looked at the design of the giant. I was like, I don't want to watch that for an hour and a half.
Wasn't there another movie that just came out? Did it already come out where Liam Neeson's the same type of thing?
Where he's on a train?
I don't know if he's on a train. No,
there's one where he
no.
opens up and he's on a train.
No, not that. Like, Liam Neeson's voice is the voice of like this big tree giant that like helps motivate this kid to stop being bullied. It looks
Man, that sounds like an after school special.
No, dude, you watch it. It looks pretty intense. I forget the name of it. That's why I don't think it's come out yet. But I saw the trailer along. Yeah, I know. That's basically what it seems like. You know, it seems like there's this bully kid, and he comes up with this giant monster to protect him, and it looks like a visual spectacle, and the music sounds really good, and it sounds like he's basically showing the kid how to stand up for himself and stuff like that. It looks fucking insane, but I'm like, it's another one of those things. I'm like, did it already come out? Because if it didn't, like, it probably wasn't that good because people weren't talking about it. What the fuck name was it? I don't know. We'll watch the trailer.
But okay, so anything else on Ready Player One, or should we get to the reviews and talk about the reviews of these movies?
I think we still have another trailer to talk about too. We have the Spider-Man verse, the new Spider-Man verse trailer dropped. When was that? Yesterday?
Yeah,
a couple of days ago.
I think it was 2 days ago.
A couple of days ago, introducing Miles Morales.
Yes.
Is that Morales?
Yep.
Miles Morales.
Miles Morales. We got a black Spider-Man.
Half black, half Mexican.
Half black, half Mexican.
Yeah.
They're just trying to cram so many in that one, just so that.
And yet they got, you know why? So that way they don't have to have 2 minority superheroes.
That's right.
Let's just give them one.
I was excited about this because they're doing something with the superhero movies that I've always really wanted to see, and you haven't really seen since The Incredibles, was like a good 3D animated superhero movie. I'm talking about not like 3D glasses, but the 3D animation.
Yeah, but the twist on this is that what if there's multiple Spider-Mans?
Oh, there is.
What? No, that's what I'm saying. That's what the twist is.
Yeah.
That's what they present in this movie, and it's like, that's awesome. Like, that's so cool.
But yeah, but this trailer came out, and I saw that it was 3D animation.
Yeah.
I'm like, see, this is what DC needs to do with their fucking animate.
Yes.
Do a fucking 3D one. It would be so bad.
Start off with that first, and then go into.
See, that's what you guys always are telling me about all these the DC's animation department and their animated movies. Okay, that's great. Take advantage of the 3D animation. I want to see that shit. I'm kind of like growing past like the 2D animation stuff. I want to see superhero 3D stuff because they're doing it right with their stories and their movies, but just get rid of that 2D animation. I want to see some 3D. But what do you think about the new trailer, Mike? The Spider-Verse.
I liked it. I mean, I don't know a lot about Miles Morales.
Yeah.
There was a really awesome short a couple of years ago, which was the first depiction of Miles Morales that I saw. Like,
It was a short like
it was
animated
short live action.
live action.
Yeah,
Was it
it's
from
like
the
a fan
studio?
film.
Oh, okay. There's a fan film of it.
Yeah, and that was really awesome.
You know the name of it?
I honestly have no idea. He didn't even have the costume. Like, he just got the powers, and he was trying to figure it out.
So they did a Smallville version of it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Smallville.
But yeah, no, that was really good. It was like 5-10 minutes. And now seeing him in the costume, and then Miles Morales is supposedly going to be in the new PS4 game coming out soon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Nice.
That game looks really good.
And then Donald Glover has been saying that he wants to do Miles Morales in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Wait, I thought
Wait,
he was the
can't-
uncle,
he's,
though.
He's
Yeah.
playing his uncle.
No, he is, but he wanted to.
Oh,
yeah.
When they were getting ready to
Oh,
cast
yeah,
the new
everybody was-
Spider-Man,
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
was like, "Dude, we want Miles Morales, and we want Donald
Yeah.
Glover." And Donald Glover was like, "Yeah, like I'll do Miles Morales.
He would have
We'll
been
do
a
that."
great Miles
He's
Morales.
Yeah, so that would. I mean, I'm excited for it. It looks interesting. At the same time, having watched a lot of Marvel's animated movies, they're not always good.
In what aspect?
They're
The
just
story or
story, and then they've tried to do the 3D animation in the past with a couple of them, and it just kind of fell flat.
like? Do you remember that that DC Universe game that came out with that trailer? It was all 3D animation with about like
About Injustice?
not Injustice. It was before that. Jose showed me this trailer.
Oh yeah,
And it was the scene where it was like basically the apocalypse was happening, and you see all the Justice League trying to fight all these, but like the Joker, Lex Luthor, Black Adam, and they're all battling in this beautiful 3D looking movie. But it was for the video game. And then at the end, when they all die, and like Superman like comes down and he fucking kills Lex Luthor, it's like, you don't deserve to live, like all that crazy shit. And then all of a sudden you see it time travel back, and Lex Luthor's in a suit and he's with the Justice League saying, we have to stop this, because at the end of that, Brainiac was coming with the spaceships, and it's just like we have to set our differences aside and stop Brainiac from coming back. And it was like, oh man, like that looked so fucking awesome. Why don't they just make that into a fucking
Yeah.
movie? Like, what the hell? Because I didn't play. I looked for that video game, and the actual gameplay looked incredibly different. Like, not even good at all. I don't even know what that was.
Yeah, I mean that game. I can't remember the name of it, but you created your own hero. Like you could
Yeah,
pick
that's
and choose
right.
the powers, and it was
pretty
it was
cool.
what do they call it, an MMO or something like that?
I don't know.
If you could pick one power, what would it be?
Superman's fly, fuck, yeah.
I would
fly.
pick Professor
Well,
Xavier's
I would
ability.
hope. I would hope that the flying and the super strength came as like one like combo power.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Well, if you can fly that fast, you should be able to be
Oh,
strong.
yeah, okay.
I'd want a Green Lantern ring.
Green Lantern ring.
Okay,
Yeah.
that
You
is
can-
pretty rad.
Yeah,
dude.
you can create anything that your
Anything.
mind thinks
Yeah.
of if you have the willpower to do it.
Yeah.
See, I would totally go Professor X. I can control people. You can control people's emotions.
Not without my
everything.
motherfucking helmet, yo. That's the first thing I would build.
Oh, you say,
Dan, you're not
"Fuck
getting
you,
yeah.
Dan."
But anyway, back to the Spider-Verse. The trailer looked really cool. It was all that animate. The 3D animation looked really good. What I didn't like is it felt like they were doing a style with the actual animation where it's like very jumpy. You see it a little bit like in Wreck-It Ralph or like the Lego movies, and how it's like really jolty. And like it triggers my brain to make me think that it didn't render properly, or it's not loading properly, and it's jumpy.
They
That's-
changed the animation style a couple of times. Like when he was running through the cars and he got hit by one of them, all of a sudden it was a different artistic look.
Oh, those are like, I kind of like that stuff. Like, you mean right when he hits the car, it's almost like the Batman pows.
Yeah.
And it's like a freeze frame of him like doing that, and that I kind of like that. I just didn't like
that's
how
cool.
it was just like very jittery and jolty the way that they moved, and it kind of made me feel like I was getting anxious and I was on like fucking crack or something like that, and it just didn't. That's the only thing. The movie looks fucking amazing. I love how he's creeping up to the grave, and it's you can't read the rest of the name, but you know the initials are P and P, so that's supposed to be Peter Parker, right?
Right, but then we see Peter Parker at the end of the trailer.
So you think he faked his death?
either he faked his death, or if it's if it's living up to the name Into the Spider-Verse, it's a different Peter Parker that
It
came
could
to
be
see
Ben
him.
Reilly which was then the other Spider-Man. Remember when they had the
No,
whole
but
Clone
the
Wars and
the grave said P.
No, for sure. But if Peter Parker's at the end, then it could have been Ben Reilly that ended up dying, which was the clone Peter Parker.
I'm not too familiar with all that.
That one I did.
multiverse
It was
Spider-Man
a whole
stuff.
in the Spider-Man comics. They had a thing called the Clone Wars. It was like a big storyline where
Okay.
Ben Reilly, where they thought Peter Parker was the clone, and that Ben Reilly was the real true Spider-Man.
Damn.
And they found out it wasn't. It was Ben Reilly and then Peter.
Multiverses.
Yeah,
Fuck with your brain.
Yeah.
Crazy man.
But no, I also liked his Nikes.
Yeah, those Nikes look pretty rad.
they're pretty
Those
rad.
spider Nikes.
Spider Nikes.
Yeah, it looks promising. I like the design of everything in there, and it feels like, I don't know, just like every shot looked really cool. Like everything in this looks like just, man, why don't they do more 3D animation stuff? DC would
man.
fucking make so much money. But yeah, is there anything else about the Spider-Verse that you guys want to talk about?
No, because it was just a teaser, so we really don't know. I don't really have too much to go
Yeah.
off of it. It just looks really cool, though. I'm
Yeah, it's just
excited.
the introduction of like, hey, we're doing something with Miles Morales because
Yeah.
everyone asked for it, even
Yeah.
though it's not live action.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, I'll take
Still
it.
voiced by a white guy.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
now this is Sony that's doing. Is this Sony that's doing this?
I think
think
so because
so.
they still have the split rights with
Yeah.
Marvel.
Yeah.
I think that they're trying to make some good Spider-Man stuff because by the time how much longer does Tom Holland have on the Spider-Man
They
contract?
usually
He's
sign
only
a
done-
three-picture deal.
Yeah,
usually,
he's
and he's done
because
two.
when Chris Evans signed on for Captain America, he signed a 10-picture deal.
Okay, but what I'm saying is like, how long does Marvel have them, and then it goes all back to Sony? But is Sony still gonna have movies under Tom Holland's contract or what? Like,
Well, I think because the Spider-Man: Homecoming was their joint feature, right?
yes,
It was Marvel kind of had the final creative say in it, but it was produced by Sony.
Yeah, it was pretty. Sony didn't do anything. They just said,
Yeah,
they
no,
were
they
just
just-
they're just checking their heads. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Marvel took care of everything. On
Yeah,
that
Sony
fucking-
just got the check for it at the
Yeah.
end. But I think that's kind of maybe that's why Sony's trying to do Miles Morales. It's like,
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, you had your final say with Tom Holland, and he's in your MCU, and let's see what the reaction to this new Spider-Man is.
But how many pictures does Marvel have with Spider-Man?
I would say at least 6.
6? I heard it was 3.
Well, he's already done 2,
he did
and he's going to be in the third one is going to be
with Infinity War,
Wars.
and then they're still doing a Homecoming 2.
Right. So he's got to have at least 6 because
Is Homecoming 2 going to be Marvel or is that going to be Sony?
Marvel.
I thi-
well,
I-
they share it.
yeah, it's gonna be another one of the shared.
Dude, you know Marvel's just gonna buy it from Sony. They're gonna put. You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna
They're gonna pull a Fox deal.
When Sony finally gets it all 100% back. They're not doing anything else with Marvel Studios.
Okay, Tom Holland signed on for 5 Spider-Man movies.
5.
That's all we have.
5
so far.
Spider-Man movies. Okay.
So he's already done
So when
3
he's
with
done,
Infinity
and,
Wars coming up.
and if
Yeah.
it goes back to Sony, full Sony, and they do a Spider-Man movie and it bombs, Marvel's just gonna fucking make them an offer. I think they're just gonna-
I'm sure they already are.
That's how they got Spider-Man back.
Yeah.
Because the whole when Sony was hacked,
Yeah.
one of the emails that came out that Disney and Marvel found was a Sony executive saying, guys, we have no idea what to do with Spider-Man. Like, we can't make it successful. So Marvel kind of came in and was like, so
Yeah.
we hear you're having some trouble with our character.
I was.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
I didn't hear too much about the Spider-Man and the Sony hack. I was really reading up on Amy Pascal and her treatment of Ghostbusters and everything that happened with that. But that sounds funny, man. Like
Yeah.
they have to. I mean, I'm happy that Marvel's starting to acquire back all their character rights. And
They should.
It's just Sony and Fox, right? Those are the only two that
Sony
own.
and Fox. Yeah.
Other than that, Marvel owns the rest of their characters.
I think Hulk is Paramount.
Okay.
But at the same time, they don't.
Why did they sell them all off?
Well,
because
the
they
comic
were going bankrupt in the 90s.
they weren't
Oh,
doing well,
yeah.
so they sold off all their characters to different studios. Well, all the most well known ones, but now the ones that are banking money are the ones that nobody knew, and Marvel just made them amazing.
Yeah.
But now that they're slowly starting to get them back, which I'm excited about. But here's another little thing. So, obviously they're gonna get the X-Men. They're gonna get X-Men back.
Yeah, because it sounds like they already closed on the deal, or they're right about to still.
It sounds like they're about to, and then it's just going to be a matter of
And
the
Fantastic
government
Four,
saying,
Deadpool,
"Hey,
X-Men.
this is going to give too much power to Disney."
Yeah.
well,
if
you
they
guys
approve it or not.
You guys remember Logan, obviously. You can't
Yeah.
forget
Yeah.
that. You heard what Hugh Jackman was saying during
Yeah.
that rounds. If he'll play it again, if it ever goes back to the
And he
MCU.
will.
If he can be in an Avengers movie, that's the only way he'll come back. as
He's
Logan.
they're gonna fucking use him, dude.
Yeah.
You know they're trying
Just-
to finish
just
up
for
that
that
deal
one
right
and done.
now.
I hope so,
they
man.
can sneak him into Infinity War.
Even if they go Old Man Logan again, I'm fine with
No,
that.
here's why. Here's where the genius of Logan was. Logan took place in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all this stuff still could have happened. They just never
Yeah.
talked about it.
Yeah.
And so basically, this can just be they don't have to worry about the continuity of that, unless they plan on completely rebooting the X-Men franchise, which I think that they should do. They should get rid of Bryan Singer and his everything.
he's gone already, right?
No. I'm talking about his association of the characters that were set up. I think that they're going to reboot it. They're not going to bring in.
Yeah, those movie franchises, they just weren't good, man.
Some
I
of
like
them were
First
okay.
Class.
Yeah, First Class was great.
Yeah. Days of Future Past was all right. It was okay.
So do you think though, that they would, Kevin Feige is just going to be like, you know what, let's bring Hugh Jackman back, or let's just reboot everything? That's what I want to know.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't want the deal to go through.
I want the
I
deal
don't
to-
either.
I do.
I want it to be like a Spider-Man deal. Where
Yeah.
they split it because
Use the characters.
Yeah, because now if you look at it with the way that Marvel's going to be doing everything, now they get X-Men back, they get Fantastic Four, they get all these characters back. We're only going to get a movie every 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Whereas with Fox having it, if Marvel gets kind of the creative control and the final say, but Fox still produces it, we're going to get a movie every 2-3 years.
I could see that.
So that's I don't want it to go through, because if they can get the characters right, I want to see them, and I want to see them a lot.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of really good X-Men storylines that we could do.
Oh, yeah.
Like we could get the Phoenix Saga itself could be a 2-3
that,
movie.
well, by the way,
It could be
that
easily be
movie's
a
already being
three-picture deal.
that movie's being made right now, right?
Yeah, and it's not going to be done well.
They're trying to do it again
Yeah.
because it failed in what was the third one? Last Stand.
Yeah. Oh, God, that one was so bad.
Yeah. So
I
they
hated that movie.
like Bryan Singer was just trying to was like, oh well, kind of
I
I
just-
kind of fucked up on these ones. Let's reboot the series so that I have another chance at fucking
Yeah.
these storylines up.
I've
did.
always disliked Bryan Singer, even before all the stuff going on about him doing fucked up shit to younger kids and stuff. That whole thing, I never really liked it because of Superman Returns, and he's still
he fucked up Superman
He
Returns.
fucked up Superman Returns, and not only that, he can't mention that movie without sounding like a little whiny bitch. It always sounds like he's trying to make excuses. Like, dude, just own up. You made a fucked up, stupid Superman movie, and own up to it. But I just didn't. I just don't like anything that Bryan Singer does anymore. I mean, I did like Days of Future Past. I actually thought that was probably one of the best X-Men movies that was ever made.
Yeah, I like Days of
until
Future
Logan came out, and then I'm like, that is
Yeah.
the best X-Men movie ever.
That is the
fucking made.
best by far.
Yeah, one of the good things, and I think other studios could use it as an example. Like Days of Future Past was a really good way for them to reboot the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was great.
Yeah, like it wasn't just like, well, we're just gonna reboot it because we don't want to sign the actor again, or we didn't like the way that he was doing it, or the storyline. It was okay. We have this universe that we've set up for the past 15 years. We can use this storyline and reset everything and start retelling the stories with a different set of actors.
It's their own version of Flashpoint.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Which is what I think Flashpoint should be.
Yeah.
Especially if Ben Affleck's not going to be.
See, the only thing
Batman
about
again.
that, though, is that because Wonder Woman they got right, Aquaman they got right, and then Ezra Miller's Flash is debatable if he can carry his own movie, right?
Yeah.
So if they do a reboot, how are you going to be able to still kind of cast the same actors in these roles? That's what's going to be a little difficult, but while recasting the other ones.
It's all a clusterfuck. That's what everything
Matt
is.
Reeves is already having open auditions, right, for Batman.
I don't know. I know he's like, if Ben Affleck goes out, he wants a younger Batman.
I heard he's already looking to cast.
He already has. I mean, dude, you always cover your bases. You always say, "Hey, who else would I?" You got to start thinking about all this stuff because you got to pivot. But the main part of that conversation I really want to talk about was whether or not Hugh Jackman is going to come back.
Yeah, no,
As
I would love it.
Wolverine.
Great if he
That
did.
could be kind of cool, but it might mess with continuity if they decide to reboot the X-Men franchise, which I think that they should do. Those movies were what they were. I'm ready for new, fresh takes on all that stuff. The only thing I don't want them to touch is Deadpool.
Yeah.
The Deadpool movie should let it be what it has been. Although I think it would be really funny if they incorporated Deadpool into one of the Avenger movies. And the whole thing is he's just not allowed to talk and he's just gagged the whole time and like just,
They did that in X-Men in Wolverine Origins.
Wait, they gagged him?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, remember that?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
That was
that's
terrible.
right.
That was terrible. You can't do that
But
again.
if Deadpool goes over, they won't do it because they're definitely trying to be more PG-13 family friendly. I would love to see a Deadpool Spider-Man movie.
That would be awesome.
That would be pretty rad. That would be really
That would
that'd
be
really
amazing.
cool.
Like the story arc that they got going on right now in the comics is fan-fucking-tastic.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
I think he would do well with Hulk too. I think Deadpool and Hulk would be pretty funny. You
That'd be
have,
cool.
You have the mouth and the big brute.
Well,
guy.
really what I would like to see would be Deadpool, Wolverine, and Spider-Man in a movie together would be fucking
That would be
rad.
really
That'd be
rad.
radical.
Yeah.
Not just rad, it'd be fucking radical.
Radical.
All right, so I think
We're talking about like a Deadpool shirt
Hey,
on.
you're wearing a Deadpool shirt
Yeah.
on. So I think we're ready to move on. So let's start going over to some movie reviews that are coming out, reactions, before we get into the big baby that we want to talk about, Star
Yes.
Wars. Jumanji 2.
Which is surprisingly getting a lot more positive reviews than I ever would have imagined.
And you
for
know
this.
what? I'm all for that movie.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
It's because it's a franchise I don't care about, and I think that they approached it in a way that is just like, let's just make a fun movie.
Yeah.
And it looks like all the actors have fun. I love the concept. It just seems like a fun, like one of those movies where you can just hang up your critic coat and just sit back and enjoy the
Yeah.
actors having fun on camera.
It sounds like Jack Black kills it. I keep hearing that he.
Well,
that
because
the best
he's
part of
supposed
the
to
movie.
embody like a 17-year-old
Yeah.
trendy girl who's like trapped in his body. That looks so funny, dude.
It's so
all
clever.
those
All I-
actors.
All I can think of is watching one of the trailers is Jeff Goldblum. The game finds a way. It goes from a board game to a video game just so somebody can play it.
That's funny.
But
finds a way.
it just looks really funny, and like you said, it seems like the actors have good chemistry with
Oh,
each
yeah.
other. The action seems fun. Yeah, man, I'm
It
just
looks
excited.
like these
Yeah.
actors had so much fun with each other on set while
Yeah,
they're
it
making
did. Mm-hmm.
this movie. It's just like you want to be there too. That's why I like dumb movies every once in a while. And it looks like the action's going to be fun.
I like dumb movies a lot. I
And
don't mind it as long as they're good.
As long
dumb.
as they're good. As long as they're good. It looks like The Rock has so much fun. Well, The Rock looks great in every movie he does. He always looks like he gets along with everybody. But
Except for what is it, Vin Diesel and Tyrese.
Fuck Tyrese. I don't care about that. I don't care about those movies. I care about Jumanji 2 more than I care about any of the Fast and the Furious
You know what's
movies.
ironic is that Jumanji 2 is getting better reviews than Justice League did.
I'm not surprised because I bet you they just said, hey, make a fun movie, and they did.
Do you think the DCEU gets better when we finally see The Rock as Black Adam?
I don't know. I think the only way the DCEU is going to get better is when they do a completely reorganization of how they're making their fucking movies.
Yeah.
And who's in charge? Kevin Dushihara needs to get the fuck out of there. He needs to get the fuck out of there. I
He's
heard that there's a
awful.
big shakeup happening in January, and but they're demoting the wrong people. They're demoting Jeff Johns. It just doesn't
Which
make
he
fucking
literally
sense.
just got into the position.
Yeah.
He has one movie under his belt.
And everything that he
Tushihara
that
fucked up.
yeah. Well, the one movie he was actually really a part of from beginning to end was Wonder Woman. Is that correct?
No, Justice League.
It was no, but he was there on Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, he did final rewrites for.
Yeah.
But Justice League, that was his first.
Yeah,
in
but
that
he came
position.
in. He wasn't there from the start.
No, he wasn't there from the
he
start.
was playing cleanup.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like that he should be the Kevin Feige of the DCEU.
Yeah.
But I also heard that Warner Brothers is gonna completely absorb just the DC studios and just make them a part of their studio, where they have like apparently it's a completely separate office and building, and I think they want everything closer. I don't
Maybe
know.
that's a good thing. I don't know.
Not if the same people are in charge, man. Not if the same people are in charge. But fuck them.
All right,
Jumanji 2. So
Jumanji.
Dan, what are people saying about Jumanji 2?
So with Jumanji 2, they're giving it really good reviews. They're saying Jack Black is the best part of the movie, which is surprising because he takes it from The Rock. They're saying that The Rock and Kevin Hart still have good chemistry as always, but they're saying all four of them did a really good job and they brought it.
Nice.
Apparently, it's like an unofficial like reboot. I mean, they're saying it's not, but it kind of is. But it gives a nice shout out to the first one, so they're kind of acknowledging that. I mean, they're calling it a sequel, is what they're saying.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, I heard that the Robin Williams, they make reference to him in that Jumanji land. Like, you see where he was all those years.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like, it's a sequel without
It's a
having
reboot cool.
Yeah,
It's a reboot cool.
That's a
Now
reboot.
the question is who does Nick Jonas play in the movie? Why is he in the movie?
I don't know. You know, it'd be funny if he was Robin Williams' son that was just left there.
So he had
Like he had a baby
Yeah.
with like a fucking local there or something like that. Maybe that could be interesting. I'd call that. I would call that. But yeah, man. It's if everybody's saying it's great, like the actual movie's great. I think it's gonna be one of those surprise hits.
Yeah, I mean
Rampage, on the other hand.
Rampage in the hand looks bad, man.
It looks like if I'm into the monster mood, I'll go see it. That's all it's for. They even make fun of it in its own trailer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just about to say the only thing missing is a giant crocodile. Like, oh God.
No, I mean, what it seems like is The Rock is just making movies based on things that he enjoyed.
Yeah.
Maybe, or he's just making movies based off that check. Like Rampage
I think
looks
it
like
is,
a
man.
money
You know what? He is the modern day movie star, not actor, movie star.
Yeah.
That means like he's just The Rock in every single movie. He's just so
Yeah.
charming.
The
You
way
just want to
Schwarzenegger, Stallone were
Exactly.
back in the day. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm excited. When does this open up? When does Jumanji 2 open up?
Jumanji 2 is December 22nd, I think.
Oh, that comes out this.
Yeah, it
Oh,
comes out in
shit.
a couple weeks.
Oh damn, dude! I'm not gonna be here for that.
Yeah, it's around Christmas, around that time. It's that weekend.
Oh, okay.
Go watch it out there with your
That'd be
buddies.
fun. That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
Or if you come back, we'll movie pass.
Yeah, we'll movie pass it. Although I don't understand why anybody would want to open up a movie in December if they're competing up against Star Wars. I mean, like, especially if that's getting a lot of reviews and a lot of people are going to go into that. That's going to dent into the Jumanji box
Yeah.
office a little bit. But I'm really hopeful for Jumanji too. It's like one of those surprise things. It's a franchise that I couldn't care less about.
I'm the same
And
way.
it looks like they had a lot of fun making it.
It's a franchise that wasn't supposed to be a franchise.
Yeah.
So you might as well go out and just make it freaking fun.
Yeah,
dude.
make
just
it
have
fun.
it.
That's when it's okay for franchises to take drastic new
Yes.
concept steps and take things in new ways when people don't care about it anymore.
Yeah, that's how I felt like if they did like a Dick Tracy, if they like
Oh,
rebooted
man.
that franchise,
Dude, that'd be cool.
Go fun with it, like, go crazy with it, do
Fuck
something
yeah.
that's very
Aren't
different
they
than
doing
the first
it?
one.
Are they doing it? They're not.
No.
They
No.
will.
I love the
Zero
Dick
talk.
Tracy series.
will.
When I was a
I did
kid.
too, man. Like, it would be
great.
great.
They'll do it. It's gonna
Flat
happen.
top.
You know somebody's already been commissioned to write a script on it. You know
Maybe,
that.
but for some reason I don't hear any rumblings about it at all.
I've heard stuff about Gremlins and Short
Yeah.
Circuit.
I heard about those. Short Circuit, I don't really think we need one. But
No,
I mean,
but
Gremlins
it's like,
would be amazing.
do we really need a Jumanji 2? No.
True.
That's what I'm saying. It's those franchises that you don't really care about.
Yeah.
And actually, I think a new Short Circuit movie would be perfect right now because look at the state of technology that we're in right now and how much Johnny Five needs a motherfucking reboot. He needs an upgrade, dude. Like that
Do you
could be
think
cool.
they're gonna charge people to like internet?
Yeah, pretty much.
Gonna charge
Pretty
us to
much.
use Johnny Five.
Johnny Five is alive. Oh man, those fucking movies.
I know.
But anyway, yeah, Jumanji looks like it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So let's get into the last topic that we're gonna be talking about, and we're not gonna talk too much about spoilers or anything, but because Mike here has been avoiding all Star Wars trailers, he wants to go in clean slate. I love it. I respect it.
And we'll do like random, like sending them links to trailers saying,
Yeah.
oh, watch this. It's a trailer to something else.
What was it when you
doesn't
guys went
fall
to go
for it.
see Justice League? They were playing the new Star Wars trailer. You guys had to sit there, cover your ears and eyes.
No,
and
it was the Thor movie.
Was it? Oh, Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok.
It was Ragnarok, and as soon as I saw the AT-AT, I just closed my eyes, put my hands over my ears, and just like
the gorilla walker.
Yeah, just started humming to myself.
But so there was the premiere last night, and late last night there was a little rush of Twitter reactions to Star Wars, and they are overwhelmingly positive.
Very much so. Like what I keep reading is that it's one guy said it's just as good as Empire, or it's the best movie since Empire. Another one said it's the best Star Wars movie ever.
Yeah.
People keep praising the acting, saying that Rian Johnson got really good acting moments in this, which gives me like, because Empire was of the original, that one had the best character moments of like true acting. This one, if he really plays into that, I'm like, man, he might have really concocted the best Star Wars movie. It has potential to be.
I really hope so. I mean, out of the mass amount of Twitter reactions going on, there were some negative ones.
See, I didn't read any
You
negative
didn't read
ones.
any? I read a couple of negative ones, but they seemed like haters anyway.
What do they say?
And you're just like, I'm curious. Don't tell me, but tell me.
I'm ready to cut a bitch right
One
now.
guy-
What was their username? Where are they located? What did they say?
One guy said that it was, he said, I can't believe how much I liked Rogue One. And that's what he said about this movie.
Geez.
And he goes, I didn't think that I would think this movie was going to be better than The Force Awakens. And no, I didn't think I thought Force Awakens was better than this movie, and I didn't like Force Awakens. I heard some people complaining about the length. I heard it drags in the middle a little bit.
Oh man, I'll take that. I heard when
I don't
it picks
care.
up, it really picks
That's what I heard,
up.
but I heard it covers all the emotions. I heard it's funny, energetic, dramatic, just suspenseful.
And then I just heard that there's a big moment. Everyone keeps saying avoid
spoilers.
But there's something dramatic that happens that alters the entire
But you know what?
franchise.
They also said that about Justice League, and I didn't feel like there was anything spoilery about like when Justice League was coming out. They're like, Ben Affleck's, I can't believe they kept most of this stuff a secret so far. And then I watched Justice League. I'm like, I'm not really surprised by anything. So what the fuck is he talking about? I hope we get something big in this one.
It is.
I
That's what
heard
they keep talking
somebody
about.
also tweeted out that this is gonna have more fan debates than The Force Awakens. So apparently something big is happening. And not just story point. Like I think the whole mythology is gonna go for a huge sharp turn into something else, which I'm excited about. Why not? I mean, like, why the fuck not? As long as it's good. If
Do
it's
something
good.
bold, man. That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, Rian Johnson makes good movies.
If they end
like,
up making like Rey turn evil or something, that'd be so ballsy, and I would love it. I
Well,
would love it if they
I
did
don't
that.
think
It's not going to be right.
No, it's not. But if they did,
we have to keep in mind he hasn't seen all the trailers.
it's not based off of anything. I'm just saying if they ended up doing that, that'd be so badass. Like if
I
they-
told you my theory.
What's that?
On what I want to happen.
All right, what is it? And this is coming from somebody who hasn't seen
These are
the
just
all the
theories.
trailers.
We haven't read anything spoilery. At
Well,
all.
just going back into like the whole like trying to figure out who Rey's parents are, and we talked about this when we binged the prequels the other day. Which
That's right. He's gonna go into it. I'm giving him shit for it, but go ahead.
yeah, I think it would be great if going into like a lot of fan theories if Luke and Leia are actually Obi-Wan Kenobi's kids. And if we look at what happened at the end of Revenge of the Sith, Anakin is still like mid-20s. He can have another kid. If Rey is Anakin's kid, and
At the end of Revenge of the Sith, she'd be older than Luke. Well, she'd be the same age as Luke.
no,
You're talking about Return of the Jedi.
no. What I'm saying is to say that Anakin at the end of Revenge of the Sith, being that young, didn't have any other kids.
I don't think he did, right?
Well, I think his dick got burnt off in
No,
Mustafar.
it was just his. No, it was just his legs that
He
cut
had a
off.
prosthetic dick.
No, I think it burnt off, bro. That shit. You see the rest
He
of his
had a
body.
prosthetic dick. He had a prosthetic dick that he calls Johnny Five.
He impregnated him with the Force. No, but
Equal.
But no, if Rey ends up being Anakin's kid, and with Kylo being so obsessed with Darth Vader, and she actually has that connection to him, and finds out that Luke and Leia are not actually Anakin's kids.
So you're saying Anakin is Kenobi's kid? You said?
No. So right now, based on Empire Strikes Back,
Yeah.
we're under the belief that
Luke and
Anakin
Leia. Yeah.
is Luke and Leia's father.
Yeah.
Now there's the whole fan theory with the prequels that
That
Obi-Wan
Obi-Wan
Kenobi and Padme were actually getting
having
it on.
an affair.
So Luke and Leia are
Could be
Obi-Wan
Obi-Wan's
and
kids.
Yeah, but
but Anakin being so in love and finding out that Padme died is just like that was his kids.
yeah.
So he was under that belief. But if we find out that Padme essentially did have that affair, it's Luke and Leia are actually
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's kids, and after he became Vader, he had another kid that ends up being Rey.
Or at least the Rey storyline, Rey,
Yeah.
Rey parentage. I don't think that's it.
I think it would be awesome
I think
because that would fuck with Kylo
But
so
Rey's
much.
too young though.
yeah. I mean, if at the end of Return of the Jedi, there's a possibility.
She's probably not even
someone's-
born at that
You know what I
time.
mean? But still, I think, man, honestly, I think they don't even know yet, and I don't think it's going to be answered in this movie.
They have to know, dude. They already said the whole.
Ryan
trilogy's
Johnson
out.
said he wasn't instructed on anything.
He's not because he's not doing 9.
Yeah, so which means that it's not
Kathleen
revealed.
Kennedy knows.
Oh, Kathleen Kennedy. Well, Ray knows.
Yeah.
Daisy Ridley knows.
Yeah.
She said that she thought it was obvious in the first movie, and she's like, I thought everybody knew because it was so obvious in the movie.
See, I
So
wonder
that's
if
what
she's
I'm
saying that
thinking.
just to throw us off.
No, I think she was an actual quote of hers.
And it's got to be Skywalker, man. The only one
Gotta
that
be
was
Sky-
obvious was
I
Luke.
think it's either Skywalker or she's a nobody. And if she's a nobody, that would be so awful.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna go
why
that
the big
route.
secret if she's just a
Yeah.
fucking nobody? Like, so
time could've
she
been Street
her
Rat.
parentage has to be something amazing. It has to be like either a Kenobi. She has to be either Kenobi family line or Skywalker family line.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not any of those two, and it's just she's just a rando, dude, that's gonna be awful. So many, I would be fucking pissed. Because they set it up like you're not supposed to know, it's classified. You're not supposed to know who her parents are.
What if it's Han and Leia? Because Han ended up
Well,
running
so that's
off.
what I meant, Skywalker.
Yeah,
You
Han
know
ended
what I
up running off, so it could very possibly been that Leia was pregnant with a second child after Han left because of the whole Ben Kenobi. Ben.
But they made
thing.
it seem like that wasn't too long ago. I mean, like, because Rey and Adam Driver or Kylo seem to be pretty close in age.
I thought it happened when he went crazy and killed all the Jedi.
Yeah.
Luke
So
disappeared.
she must have already been born. Rey at that
Oh, yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So it's not like after that all happened and Han left, then Leia was
No.
pregnant. No, that wouldn't make sense to me. Although it's possible. I mean, it's possible. I think she's I think she's a Skywalker. I would like her to be a Kenobi, but I think she's a Skywalker.
Do you think she was born of midichlorians?
Fuck no.
Can they never use that word again, please? in Star
Somebody,
Wars
it's,
lore?
I guess they were reading some of the cast members are reading some of the false theories on the internet that were making them laugh, and one of them was that.
Yeah.
She was asked about that, I guess, and she was just like, "What? No, that's ridiculous."
What
People-
about midichlorians?
Yeah, well, people being just born of the Force.
Right after we watched the prequels, when I went home, I can't remember his name, but he voiced Yakko in Animaniacs. He has his little podcast where they'll pick random scenes and they'll read them in the voices that the two
other
are famous
characters.
for.
Yeah.
So they had one of the girls from The Simpsons do Ralphie,
Okay.
and then he was Yakko, and they read that midichlorian scene from The Phantom Menace, and he's sitting there as like,
Wait, who was Anakin?
it,
Who was doing
Anakin was
that
being voiced
Ralphie?
as Anakin was Ralphie, and Qui-Gon was being voiced as Yakko. And he's just like, what the fuck is this?
That would be funny.
It was amazing.
That's funny. But to get back to the Twitter reactions,
Yeah.
everybody's saying that
Everybody's giving it
The
really.
Last
From what
Jedi
I've
is
read, is that it's phenomenal and avoids spoilers at all costs. So like, I don't want to see anything else.
Well, another thing too, when you're watching these reviewers tweet their responses or give their reviews, you have to look at their past movies that they've reviewed
Yeah.
and see if they have the same views of you on a movie, because chances are somebody's gonna hate a movie that you're gonna really like.
That's true.
But so when I saw all the Twitter reactions, there were a couple people from Collider who like Mark Ellis and Perry Nemiroff. I usually enjoy Collider's channels. I think they have usually share the same type of views on movies.
Do they
and
both like it?
They loved it.
Good.
they were completely floored. So dude, we're gonna have a nice little treat Thursday night,
man,
dude.
Thursday night.
Thursday night. So it's hard to get into any more of this without talking about what Mike doesn't want to hear.
Yeah, I think that.
But how about some theories? I know Mike's got some theories, some other theories. What is it about this movie that has to happen in this movie, or else you're not gonna go see it, or you'll be upset?
We're gonna see
We're
it.
gonna. How are you gonna walk out of this movie satisfied?
It just being great. No, I mean, not having really read or watched anything, I don't have any expectations for it. I'm expecting it.
But you're a fan of the series.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the series. There's some things that I want to see happen, but at the same time, it's nothing like really major. I would like to see who Rey's parents are, especially with the storyline in Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
That's
not going to be
No,
it.
that's probably not going to, but it's just one of those, like, we're trying to, the misdirection thing. And what is it? There's another segment coming out Tuesday.
Yep.
Continue the story.
The DLC's coming out on Tuesday. No, I think it's only one mission, though. I think they're only dropping one mission.
Oh, is that what it is? It's not a brand new story.
It's not a whole new storyline with multiple missions. I heard it's just one mission, which is going to be kind of lame because that takes like 15 minutes to play.
There's the whole game I could have beat in one day. I just
Yeah,
purposely
we
tried to
did
stretch
beat
it.
it.
Yeah, we beat
Mike
it in
came
like
over.
6
See,
hours.
that's what I'm saying. That's too quick, man. I purposely took my time trying to play.
Was with the Battlefront 2 thing, and I'm sorry I'm interrupting Mike's answer to his question.
That's fine.
After the campaign is done, I wanted it to be an open world where you're this character and you can run around, you can collect stuff, you can collect all this extra stuff and just fuck around in that world. You can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, the
can't do that.
campaign's
There's
very,
no open
once you
world.
beat it, there's no reason to go back and play it.
No, that's it.
Well, I mean, just to replay some of the missions, that's what I do.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you're kind of hoping to get some answers to Rey's lineage. in
Yeah,
this movie.
or more hints would be nice. I want to see how they cut it together with what happened with Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, I want to see how that ends up.
I personally think it would be great because her daughter's in Billy Lord's in this, the franchise now. I would love it if they end up either towards the end of it or for episode 9 they start giving her more of a role like what General Leia was. I think that would be a great homage.
Well, I heard some things before they were making The Force Awakens. They were actually considering her for the role of Rey, and some people thinking this is spoilery because they think that she's actually supposed to be Leia's kid.
Yeah.
And so they were actually going to get her to play Rey, but then that didn't happen. So.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that would be good. I'm really interested to see. I think a lot of the Carrie Fisher scenes are going to be very emotional. Not necessarily.
Of course they are, dude. They're gonna.
Yeah, I heard her and Luke has a really big emotional scene in this movie.
I heard that Ryan Johnson said that they're not going to be in a scene together.
Maybe not together. Yeah,
Because they were seen together in a magazine. I forget what magazine came out, but Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill on the cover in their new costumes. And Ryan Johnson commented saying it's nice to see them together, even if you may not see it in the movie. And
even though you may not,
I think it's something like even if this is the only way you see them together.
No,
he said something around that line.
I
don't think they're gonna.
I think they have to because
let's make a bet.
Because one of the big
I'll
things,
make a bet with you.
especially after what happened with Carrie Fisher, Harrison and Mark Hamill both kind of made the statements like it's really a shame that all three of us weren't together again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was the biggest. That's what I was pissed off about the most in The Force Awakens. But at the same time, I like it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm mad. I'm like, I wanted to see those three characters together, even if it's for a fucking scene.
Yeah.
I want to see those three together.
Because Han can't do a Force ghost. I mean, he's not a Force, man.
But you know, it is what it is. I just hope we get a goddamn nice fucking lightsaber battle with Luke Skywalker. That is my main thing. I want to see a lightsaber battle. If we don't, I'm going to be pissed. Yeah. I'm telling you, if there is not a Luke Skywalker lightsaber battle in this movie, I am automatically going to give it a 7.
Who does he fight, though?
What's that?
Who does he fight?
I don't give a fuck. I want to see him
Do you think
fight.
it's just like First World?
Stormtroopers,
First Order. So
fuck yeah. Who else is he going to fight? Porgs?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Because at this point in time,
hate
we
porgs,
we
man.
haven't seen what Snoke can do.
Well, I heard that
And,
there's a big battle. Like this was like during the making of the movie that I'm assuming. Because you know what, the first movie leaves off with them on Octu, so
Yeah.
we can imagine that maybe Rey might get trained by Luke at Octu. And I also heard, not recently, but these are just rumors, that there's probably going to be a battle on Octu with the First Order and finding out where they are. I mean, we can just assume that that's what's going to happen.
Is Finn a Jedi?
Is what?
Is Finn a Jedi?
I wouldn't be surprised because we don't know who his parents are either.
Wielded it, but I don't think so, man. It'd be weird if it's just like
Nah, because Han
two-thirds
Solo
of them.
used a lightsaber.
Yeah.
He used a lightsaber in Empire to cut open the
Tauntaun.
Tauntaun. Because they said that you need to use the Force in order to use a lightsaber. But I
That's
think
not
it's
true.
not to turn it on. Like, you can use the Force to turn it on.
You have
but I
to
don't-
be one to build a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, Finn didn't do that bad of a job when he was fighting Kylo. Like
Yeah,
No,
but...
I didn't like that he got him in the shoulder. He shouldn't have been able to injure Kylo.
yeah.
Well,
That was the
no,
one
that
thing.
that's what I'm saying. Is he a Jedi because he
Yeah.
was able to hold his own against a Sith Lord?
Yeah, probably
He's not a Sith
I don't
Lord.
think
Well,
so.
the
He's
villain.
not a Sith.
Yeah.
The villain. But yeah,
Because he's still in training. He's still a Padawan.
Dude, in this one, we need to see the villains be more powerful. Like, I want to see Captain Snoke. I want to see him as a fucking badass, and I want to see Captain Phasma have some dope scenes.
Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah, but it'd be cool though if Kylo ends up becoming a good guy again, and if
I
they go
think-
ballsy and Rey becomes a villain, and you swap them.
I think that the way that people are describing this big thing and how Star Wars is going to change after this, I think that they're gonna get rid of the Jedi and the Sith, and I think that they're gonna delve into the Gray Jedi stuff. I think they're just gonna do that. I think that they're gonna. I mean, because look at all these Star Wars movies. Every movie they're talking about balancing the Force. What happens when the Force is completely balanced? What happens then? Because it's either the dark side with Order 66 kills all the Jedi, and that same night after all those Jedi die, it became like dark heavy, and then all of a sudden Luke and Leia are born the same night. You know what I mean? It's all about balancing the Force, and then when there's too much light, at the end of the Jedi, it's all the Jedi, and then the darkness goes down. But they're always talking about bringing balance to the Force. What if Rey is the one who brings balance to the Force, and then just kind of I think it would be cool if they destroyed the Force.
Well, they have in the comics, I think, or in one of the series is they talk about the gray side. Like they have that neutral, like
yeah,
there
Ma-
are
the
Mace,
gray, yeah.
Mace Windu
Yeah.
and Qui-Gon are Gray Jedi.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
they-
Jedi the Gray.
Yeah, there's in order to have light, you need to have dark, is what their belief was.
but how come they never mention this though? Like in the movies, they've never mentioned that or showed references at all of them using and touching into that dark side. If anyone, it'd be Yoda, because Yoda actually uses electricity stuff.
Yep.
Remember that? He's the only one that
Yeah, he
actually
uses that.
exhibits some of the dark side.
Well, I heard that maybe in the readings, like whenever, because Luke goes to Octu to find the first Jedi temple, I have a feeling he's going to find some answers about the Jedi in that temple that he's just not. You know what? It's almost like in Rogue One when you got to see the bad side of the rebels. Like they do some fucked up shit too. I think there's going to be a lot of groundbreaking stuff we learn about the Jedi and the Sith. And
Yeah.
Mark Hamill's character is just going to be so mad that this is what I've been told.
Yeah,
this
and
is the truth.
we're getting into more characters who are force sensitive, like Maz Kanata.
Yeah.
Like we didn't see it in the theatrical release, but there was a scene that was cut when the First Order attacked, where she's using the Force to protect Han Solo.
Yeah. And she says she knows the Force. So
yeah,
I
so
believe-
we're
I
getting
trust
into
in that.
those non-Sith Jedi affiliated force sensitive characters. So maybe that's something that Luke discovers, and that kind of turns what he believed in upside down.
It's just gonna be fun
Maybe-
to see it all
Maybe
unravel.
maybe
on the
he
screen.
pushed Kylo to the dark side because there wasn't any dark presence there.
I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, if there needs to be balance, and he goes
Well,
to the
in the
first temple and he-
dialogue in the Force Awakens, they were talking about that he was seduced by Snoke. So I don't think Luke pushed him to the dark side. They said that he was seduced by Snoke, and
but
he
it
joined
could
the
it could
dark
just
side
be
now.
that like they don't want to believe it.
Could be, but
Yeah.
it's fucking
Are we talking about
Princess
Kylo?
Leia.
It could have been though. Maybe he was seduced by Vader. Maybe he sees Vader as a Force ghost.
It doesn't matter because Leia's force sensitive. She would know. She wouldn't be in denial about something. She fucking knows.
Do you
the
think?
truth.
Do you think we see Vader as a Force ghost in this one?
No, I think we are going to get some force ghosts. I think for sure, 100% sure, and I think
Obi?
I think more than likely it's going to be Yoda, which I'd be fine with. But I would fucking lose my shit if Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No, I think it is Obi. Remember they had reports where Ewan McGregor was on set.
No, there wasn't reports of him on set. He was just missing during D23 Star Wars Celebration, and apparently that was on purpose because everybody, even Hayden Christensen, showed up.
Yeah.
And I heard the reason why was because they wanted Ewan to keep his mouth shut and not be in the spotlight of anything. And then I also heard that it had been reported that Frank Oz was also seen on set. The
that's
puppeteer
right.
and the voice of Yoda. So I think for sure that they would definitely do Ghost Yoda, Force Ghost Yoda, and I think they should do Ghost Obi-Wan. And I wanted to start off as Sir Alec Guinness, and then maybe he goes into Ewan McGregor. But it's also going to be kind of interesting because, I mean, like they didn't do the Force Ghost in the prequels. They didn't do the Force Ghost in the. They hinted at it at the end of.
Well, they really couldn't have because we don't know anybody
Well,
that was
Qui-Gon.
dead.
Qui-Gon was the first
Well,
one.
yeah.
But
no, I
he
mean,
did.
he
They
could've come
remember when they
back,
said
yeah.
that they made reference to I've been speaking to Qui-Gon and they never showed it. And I was wondering if like they do show the Force Ghosts in this movie. If I mean, obviously it's probably going to be Rey seeing them and she's going to get freaked out. So I wonder if they kind of make them a little scary looking. If they're going to make it look different than how they looked in Empire and Jedi. Just the way the Force, because they were just like see-through blue, and they just look nice in front.
They look like holograms.
Yeah, they look like holograms. So I wonder if they do show that, if they're gonna make it different, if they're gonna, I don't know, man. It would be really
It'd be cool if
interesting.
they did, but Star Wars is known for duplicating what the past is. Like they don't deviate from that too much. So I'm imagining because it's not technology that's doing it; it's the Force Ghost. So I think they would just match what was already there.
Yeah,
just with better technology.
I think they'll do that too. I wonder if they'll even tone it down and make them seem like they're really there too.
Yeah, see something like that. Like if they did that, that'd be cooler.
Well, the whole thing with Ewan McGregor and Sir Alec Guinness. I mean these Jedi ghosts can project themselves to how they want to look. So I think it'd be kind of cool if it started off as Sir Alec Guinness and then maybe he turned into Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. I was kind of hoping, here's what I was thinking, because I heard about when they were first making this movie that there was supposed to be, there were reports that it's going to be Rey goes to train with Luke. And then something happens where they get separated because of the First Order, but she has to continue her training. And I thought it would have been cool if it ended off with her having to train with like fucking
Snoke.
Yoda, or fucking Ghost Obi-Wan. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. I hope we do get some Jedi ghosts. I don't hope it's Anakin.
I don't want to see Anakin.
I don't want to see
really
Anakin. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of risky to have him come back. Although it was, they did concept art for him come back as a ghost caught between the light side and the dark side, and so while he was a Jedi ghost, he was constantly shifting to the dark side and the light side. And you can see that internal battle. That sounded pretty fucking cool.
That's a cool idea.
But I don't want it to remind me of the prequels.
No, I don't want to see Hayden Christensen. Man.
And I also hope, because of some of the images and stuff from other trailers, that I really hope that it's not a fucking copy and paste to Empire.
Yeah,
I really hope we don't get that. I mean, I can understand if there are similar elements, but I think somebody did say that there's similar elements, but it has nothing to do with the story. It's just probably imagery, like what you saw when you first saw the clip of the AT-AT walkers walking in the white sand. Like, okay, that's very fucking Empire. I hope they're not doing fucking shot for shot remake of Empire, but they can't because it's a 2.5 hour movie. But I don't care. People who are complaining about it being too long, fuck you. I'll watch fucking 10 hours of Star Wars.
If it's good, who cares about the length of it?
Yeah.
seriously, say, come on now.
I don't care. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of good, positive things coming out of there, and it's all over the scale of of different emotions that we're going to be feeling during this movie. I just really hope I don't hate the new concept and the new thing that they go for.
That's why I'm a little nervous. Like, don't ruin anything of the original. Like, just don't, because we love it. Like, just don't fuck with it too much.
Don't fuck with it too much.
Like, if you're gonna fuck
then
with the new
then
characters,
they have to
it's
bring in
fine.
JJ to finish it off, dude. They're gonna.
Man.
Oh man, that's crazy, dude. I can't believe they're bringing JJ back.
JJ's coming back, man.
He's coming back. He's gonna do episode 9. I heard he originally, once he read the script for The Last Jedi, he was so mad that he didn't direct that one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he said he read it and he was like, I really wish I was directing this one instead.
Instead?
He wishes that. But you know what? I think he's going to bring a lot of great stuff to. Oh, well, that's another thing I'm nervous about, because what if the changes are too drastic and JJ tries to step away too much from Star Wars by doing Episode 9 and making it a little bit too weird and too? Because we don't know, because we don't know what the fuck the big changes in The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But it'd be very interesting.
But the good thing, I'm so happy that Colin
Trevorrow.
is not.
Oh
doing it.
man, I'm just glad.
But going, yeah, Trevorrow's got questionable choices. But going back to the J.J. Abrams thing, like he obviously already read. He directed Force Awakens. He read the script.
Yeah.
And he's on as an executive producer for all 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he knows the direction that it's going in.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's also he knows what people didn't like about The Force Awakens, and he's gonna keep that in his mind. So
You think he's gonna overcompensate?
I think he might overcompensate.
I like JJ.
I do like
solid.
JJ. He's
I
solid.
like
He
him.
knows what he's doing. And you know what? The Force Awakens wasn't an easy movie to do too. And I thought, given the stakes, I mean, like you kind of have to do a reboot call for that. You need to give them a lot of the old and a lot of the new. And
I still love
sometimes
Force Awakens.
Well, it's
man.
almost
solid.
it's like almost like when you watch the Back to the Future movies, and the same things happen during the different time periods. You ever notice that?
Part 3.
And in all the Back to the Future movies, whatever time period it's in, all the characters who are descendants from those people are all in the same type of situations, and there's always like history repeating itself. So that's why I'm okay with that. But I thought J.J. Abrams did a really good job with The Force Awakens. I enjoyed The Force Awakens. I hope he does something new with Episode 9. Actually, to be honest, I don't give a shit as long as Trevorrow's not doing Episode 9, man. The Book
Yeah.
of Henry was so awful. I'm so glad.
You know what's weird is not to change subjects, but that whole story about Tarantino taking over a Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
That's weird, man. And R-rated, like I'm so down to watch that. But like, imagine if he would have done a standalone
Well,
Star Wars
he pitched
movie.
that to JJ, and JJ
Yeah.
set it up where he could
Yeah.
actually do the movie.
Here's the best thing about that. With the Tarantino talk for writing and maybe directing the new Star Trek, if that ends up happening and they do a Next Generation type story, Sir Patrick Stewart said he'll come back as Jean-Luc Picard to do it.
Oh, that'd be rad, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
So
rad.
so it's one of those, like, Tarantino's writing doesn't necessarily seem like it fits with the Star Trek universe.
Could.
Yeah,
But
because
Sir
he has a lot
Patrick
of really
Stewart-
long, drawn-out scenes.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't do that to Star Trek.
Yeah, but if he does do it
Yeah.
and they want to go with Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart says, I will do it.
But
yeah,
man,
I
an
will.
R-rated Star Trek, and like the dialogue is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
And
maybe
you know
that's-
you're going to get some profane Picard language because he didn't hold back for Logan. He's like, all
Now,
right, dude, fuck
Here's
out.
the question: is Samuel L. Jackson gonna pop up in Star Trek?
Why would he pop up in Star Trek?
Because he's in every Tarantino movie.
Oh, that's right.
Exactly.
That's right. I bet you.
Exactly.
Man.
The only one he wasn't in was Reservoir Dogs.
I think,
Yeah.
you know what?
Basically.
They'll make him an alien.
An alien who just says motherfucker.
Yeah. Maybe make
Is that his character's name?
Yeah, motherfucker. Motherfucker.
Motherfucking alien.
It's motherfucker.
Motherfucking alien with a purple lightsaber. That was in Star Wars. I don't care.
I don't give a
You want me in
damn.
Star Trek? Give me a purple lightsaber.
That's cool.
Ah, man. So is there anything else about this stuff was there anything else about Star Trek that you wanted to say about Tarantino? I
Not
mean, like, he
really.
makes
I
great
mean, it's-
movies. I don't see
He
why.
does. I mean, so Tarantino always has this thing about how he's only making 10 movies, right? 10 of his original movies. And part 9 is the one that's going to be coming out in the next couple of years, right? But they said the Star Trek doesn't count as part of his 10.
Wait a second. So Tarantino said that he's only going to do 10 more original movies, and then
No, not
he's
10 more, only 10 period.
Only 10.
Only 10 period. And number 9's coming out, which is the Manson murders and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
and but apparently they're all connected in the same universe.
Maybe, yeah, I think so.
That's what the theory is.
Yeah, it
but
is.
oh man, when did he say he was only going to do 10
He
movies?
said it a
he
while
said that
ago.
about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Really?
And he said he was only going to do 10, which sucks, but Star Trek doesn't count as part of the 10.
Yeah,
And
obviously,
He
'cause
said
it's not
afterwards
original.
he's going to try to get into television
Okay.
and do like television stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
what,
man, you
what
can't
was
just
his,
do
what was
10.
his theory? He wanted to do 10 of the best quality movies that he possibly could,
Yeah.
and then leave it at that.
And then leave it
not,
at
and
that.
not risk
Yeah,
dropping off.
Yeah, because he says that every great director eventually, you fade out. Like they don't know when to call it quit. So he's
Yeah.
giving himself like a hard deadline to say this is when I'm calling it quit, so that way I can stay at peak level.
Yeah.
I respect that, but like, man, come on. Like, you got to go back to the crime drama one, man. Like,
Yeah.
that Pulp Fiction is still one of my favorite movies of all time.
I don't know about giving yourself a limit of how many movies you want to make.
you
'Cause
shouldn't do that,
You're
man.
gonna be done. You're gonna get done with 10, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be like bored, and then
Yeah,
I mean, if your creativity comes out and you want to make another movie,
A great example is Scorsese, man. Like, Scorsese is still amazing now.
Yeah.
Like, you
But-
can't stop.
But is it one of those, like, is he gonna stop writing and directing?
Well,
or is-
directing for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know about writing, but
so
he's gonna get into
so he
television.
could still write what we're used to seeing,
but
and
the
then
directing, like, it's both. Like, he's a brilliant writer, and his directing is just it's so different. Nobody can do what
yeah.
he does.
But again, you also said it was original movies. He could still direct
like
other
reboots and
scripts that
stuff,
he
and
likes.
That's true. That's
So
true.
it's yes. I don't think he's going to stop completely. Maybe stop in the full control, write, direct aspect of it. I'm sure he'll still write and I'm sure he'll still direct, but it's not going to be directing something.
It's
he
gonna
wrote.
be really cool to see his version of like a sci-fi fucking space
dude.
movie.
Yeah.
He's never
that'd
done
be
that.
cool.
The only things he hasn't done is a comedy. He hasn't really. He did a horror, but he hasn't done a comedy, and now he's never done a sci-fi, and he's about to do a sci-fi. And it's like, man,
That's really rad.
yeah, it is.
But
I want Sir Patrick Stewart back.
yes, you do.
Saying Tarantino dialogue.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I think we're getting
No,
towards the
I
end
think,
here.
I think that's
think
a
we
pretty
can-
good episode.
It's
You
a
know,
fun little-
thanks,
fun
Mike, for
little-
jumping on
No
board.
problem.
Yeah,
Anytime.
So,
Is there anything you want to plug? Anything
Yeah,
you want
is
to
it-
promote?
No.
do you have a website? Is there anything about yourself that you just want to say?
Well,
Anything that people don't know?
I'm a very easygoing guy.
It's very
he's-
easy.
I'm gonna go into my personal ad now.
Yeah. He's a Taurus. He likes long walks on the
Yeah.
beach.
Sipping mimosas.
Likes drinking hot chocolate and playing Yahtzee on
That's
Saturday nights.
right.
Bearskin rugs.
All about the bearskin rugs. Yeah, no, I mean, if I find out that the show I was in was renewed, check it out. It's usually on Sundays. It's 11:30 showing on Saturdays.
I like how he says if he's in it and it gets renewed. Otherwise, if he's not in it, don't
Yeah,
even
no,
bother.
Yeah.
don't check it out. It's
Yeah,
not
he's
worth it.
he's
Check
not
it out.
plugging it
Only,
in. He's only plugging himself.
only
in
if
it.
he's in
Self,
it.
Yeah.
It's self-preservation right there.
Exactly.
Well, it was great to have you on here, Mike. You know you're always welcome back because you're part of Too High McFly. It was just fun to talk about all these trailers, and I just love jumping around to different topics. It's one of the fun stuff, and we didn't really get too much into indie filmmaking today, but it is pretty important that if you want to make it as an actor, or if you just need all that real stuff, because you always need a reel, an acting reel. It's always great to make friends with people that make their own movies. Find yourself a nice tight little film crew and just mess around with them and just see what they can do for you and just collaborate on projects. It's always fun to do all that
Actors
stuff.
act, man. You have to act, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's so easy to make a movie now. Yeah, so we talked about everything, all these trailers. If you guys are listening over from SoundCloud, why don't you go and check out our YouTube page. We're Too High McFly Productions. We have a bunch of short films. We review movies, and we're also going to be posting our podcasts on there too. But why don't you give us a like, and if you have any questions or anything that you want us to talk about, or maybe your thoughts about what's going to happen in Star Wars or anything else that we talked about, reach out to us on Twitter, and our Twitter handle is
Too High McFly.
just Too High McFly.
Too High
No
McFly.
productions, right? Just Too High McFly. Go over there and make a shout out to us on Twitter. And my name is Kevin Lyons,
I'm Daniel de Sangre.
I'm Mike Candelet.
and we'll see you guys next week when we're going to be talking about what we thought of Star Wars: The Last Jedi because we've already seen it.
Did you notice that this is gonna be our last podcast where we're not having never seen the movie?
That's
now,
right.
For the rest of our lives, we've seen the movie.
Oh, also today is a very special day. It's also my 10-year anniversary of moving out to Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
10 years. I've been 10 years in LA today.
It's also my mom's birthday today.
Is
too.
it really?
Yeah.
Tell your
Double
mom I
whammy.
said happy birthday.
Yes.
But yeah, so we'll see you guys next week, and hope you guys go out to see The Last Jedi. All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
Later.